Hey March Madness fans, the East region, which features clusters of teams in San Diego and Dallas, has a lot of really strong teams, so it will be a task for Villanova to repeat as national champion. Pound for pound, this is probably the best region overall, given that a healthy Villanova team is probably the number one overall seed, and this conference features 3 teams in the bottom of the bracket that would pose a serious threat to the Wildcats. Villanova is the overall tournament favorite, which makes perfect sense. It is rather surprising, though, to see Texas Tech with lower odds than Wichita State and West Virginia after looking more like normal in the Big 12 tournament. If you missed the bigger prices on the Red Raiders during the year, this one isn't bad. Butler draws a tough number 7, number 10 game, runs into the number 2 seed Purdue, and has a plus 16,500 line, while other seeds in that range are much larger. Butler has made some runs, but that was basically 2 coaches ago, so perception may mean more than talent to the linesmakers. Taking a look at the Pittsburgh games, Villanova shouldn't have any issues here. A healthy Wildcats team is the best team in the country. Alabama made a captivating SEC tournament run with Colin Sexton, but was mere seconds away from losing to Texas A&M and not being here at all. Virginia Tech had some friendly bounces in the ACC play to get off the bubble. The Wildcats certainly appear to be the least threatened team by the number 8 and number 9 opponents. Looking at the San Diego games, these 4 teams have not played a single game in the Pacific time zone this season, and the number 4 vs 13 game is at 10:30 a.m. local time on Friday. What is going on? This is asinine and the committee should be ashamed. Wichita State gets boned again by playing a Marshall team that could have an out-of-body shooting performance and win, and then by getting West Virginia, a badly underseeded team, when that doesn't happen. Murray State could have been a team to knock off a number 5, but they drew arguably the best number 5 in this bracket. The press Virginia defense will be a lot to handle. The Mountaineers, who very well could be on Texas Tech's seed line, will emerge from San Diego to fly all the way to Boston to play next weekend. Just ridiculous in our opinion. Taking a look at the Dallas games, the bottom of this bracket is a real bear. Florida would be a very tough matchup for Texas Tech in the round of 32 and vice versa. Florida has an inconsistent nature, but a strong head coach and a lot of upside. Texas Tech is one of the country's best defensive squads. Of course, this assumes both favorites hold serve. Stephen F. Austin isn't as good as in the past years, and Bonaventure UCLA winner would be a clear underdog. The futures price on Florida is pretty notable. Florida wouldn't be that significant of an underdog to Texas Tech, and a win over the Red Raiders puts a very manageable line into play against Purdue and Matt Painter, who has never really gotten his team over the hump. Florida is definitely worth a good look at 120 to 1. Texas Tech at minus 125 to make the Sweet 16 implies that Florida does not have much of a chance, and we disagree. Looking at the Detroit games, how many times do we see a 10 favored over a 7? Please put somebody from Vegas on the GD selection committee already. Arkansas has one of the lowest defensive efficiencies of the at-large teams, leading only TCU, Nevada, Wichita State, UCLA, and Arizona State in that department. Butler is a solid team overall, so it makes sense to see the Bulldogs favored. Either way, in spite of Purdue's annual March hardships, the Boilermakers should be able to chug on into the Sweet 16. There isn't any value on them at the 12 to 1 price though. Fullerton shouldn't be a 15 seed, they should be a 16, probably playing Kansas. If you're holding a Purdue future at a really good price from early in the year, like 40 to 1, it will be an easy hedge to play Butler or Arkansas on the money line. You could look at Butler at plus 425 to make the Sweet 16, and Arkansas at plus 550 with minor investments on each to secure a profit. But Purdue should be close to a double-digit favorite over each, so just hedge at that point instead of spreading money on both. Texas Tech draws a bit of a home court advantage by playing in the Lone Star State at American Airlines Arena in Dallas. That certainly can't hurt for Chris Beard's team. Purdue is in the Big Ten country in Detroit, so they should be fairly well represented. It wouldn't hurt to face Arkansas instead of Butler with a good fan base for the Bulldogs in the area. We still can't get over the 4 teams marooned in San Diego. and playing a 10:30 a.m. local time game, which again is a brutal draw and ridiculous. Keep an eye on the winner of that part of the bracket when things switch to Boston for the Sweet 16. The winner of Tuesday's playing games gets to head to Dallas with the high of winning a game, but a very quick turnaround to face Florida. Even though the strength of the bottom of the bracket is impressive, Purdue does not have a whole lot of experience in pushing into the Elite Eight or beyond, while Florida does. Mike White took the Gators to the Elite Eight last year, and they were a fixture deep into the tournament under Billy Donovan. Texas Tech is going to new heights under Chris Beard. We believe Florida is a great bet to push to the Elite Eight and face Villanova. Villanova should win this region, and Villanova should be the NCAA tournament champion. There is not much value at 6-1, but no other team in the country should be favored over a healthy Wildcats team on a neutral court. There is more value on the 6-1 than the plus 110 to win the East region.